Hey, welcome back. Today, hopefully, you're going to be finishing this, wrapping it up, getting the exhaust on and the transmission and stuff. Have this nice TFC kit. It's a complete entire drivetrain kit. Comes with a bunch of, well, it comes with 3 of a bunch of different weights of rollers, so you can mix and match and make it all what works pretty good. I will say it's a pretty nice kit for all. The parts look pretty nice. I've heard a few people say this is like one of the nicest Dio bells that you can get, and I can see why they would say that. Here's part of the reason why. So I mentioned in a previous video talking about how on these ZX pulleys the bell will interfere with the pulley. It'll run up against that and you won't get full pulley travel. Some bells are much worse than others, but this one they've actually relieved it so that when the pulley is all the way out, if it's centered there, it still has clearance. It'll still spin on those. So that's pretty nice. It comes with these pretty fancy looking nuts, which just kind of bling. I mean, the stock nuts would work fine, but the clutch itself looks okay. Comes with a straight ramp pulley. This ballin drive face. Pretty nice looking variator with some type of coating on the inside. I'm guessing like a low friction coating on the inside. Almost looks like a non-stick frying pan. And then it also comes with a spring, rear spring. And it comes with a handful of variator weights, a rear spring, and a kicker drive. So yeah, it's a pretty nice kit. So get right into throwing this all in here. I apologize for the mess. I haven't cleaned. I kind of want to get this done and then do a clean, but we're getting down there now. So I'm just gonna jump right into this, I guess. Small brake. That's a bit annoying to set up. To get that kicker cup engaged, I basically had to push the belt way down in the rear enough that I could actually get the kicker cup splines to engage. You don't want to just burp that on there with the splines mismatched. You'll mar up the end of the crank. I also needed a significant amount of shims to get it to fit about right for the belt. That's just using a standard boss. The kit doesn't have a boss, so I just used the standard boss that came, like a regular Dio boss, non-ZX. So it's set up a little tight. It's not perfect, but the belt's gonna wear in. It's a brand new belt, so we'll try that. If it slips, I'll adjust accordingly. The other nice thing about this bell is it's sandblasted on the inside, so it should bed in pretty good. It should break these edges of these pads in pretty good. I've had to like wrap sandpaper inside of bells before to like unbed or like bed in the edges of pads, because they were only hitting on the tips when they fly out normally. So if you can take a bunch of material off, so when it's engaged you get more pad material. But this one should do that pretty nicely because it's quite rough on the inside of the bell. Here we go. One giant mess for me to clean up. And one mini stroker build. So I did add this V-Force reed block. I didn't really mention it in the other video, I don't think, but I just had two of these from when I had the twin, and I figured, why not? Throw it in there and see what happens. It wasn't really planned, but I'll give it a go. I'm really impressed with the transmission stuff. It's super nice. Most of the parts are pretty good. There's a few little wishy-washy things with some of the TWH stuff, but it was easily remedied. All in all, I say pretty good. Should work pretty decent, I think. But I think that's it for this evening. I have some chassis prep to do. I gotta take the tank off and clean it up, clean up the frame, clean all the plastics, We're still waiting for the mount to get here and a few other bits and pieces before we can start really putting it together. Yeah, it should be very soon that we'll have a rolling chassis, so I'm gonna start prepping the frame, maybe put the motor in and try getting it to start even without anything in it and the wheels on it and stuff. For now, this is where she's gonna sit. Well, I'm gonna clean it up and move it somewhere where it's not on my bench, but yeah, this is it in its glory. So that's it for me. Until next time, take care.